Do you think women are becoming more self-independent now and it is raising higher percentage of divorce? There are a lot of women who are career oriented, but because of their responsibilities, they are not able to achieve what they actually can achieve in their life.
That drive back from Fort to Warsaw where we were staying, 1.5 hours, I haven't cried that much ever in my life.
Hello everyone, I'm back with another episode on My Couch of Fame and I'm your host Megha Arora. Today I have a very special guest on My Couch of Fame who is the founder of Health of Women organization. She's a very strong woman and she believes in women empowerment, transforming women into women leaders. She believed in gender equality and breaking stereotypes. But there's always a soft nut inside a hard shell. She's the most humble woman I've ever met. So let's welcome this very strong and lively woman who is a very good friend of mine, Dipika Trehan.
Hi Megha.
Hi Dipika, how are you?
I'm
so
doing
glad
well.
to see you here.
Lovely to be here as well.
come.
Thanks.
Yeah. How do you feel?
I feel great.
Wow. And I feel so great to have such a strong woman just sitting in front of me. And who's a very good friend of mine too. Okay.
Completely my pleasure.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, Dipika, today we are going to talk on a very, very sensitive topic which is gender equality.
Okay.
I'm sure जब हम लोग बचपन में I have never faced this gender equality problem because my parents have always brought me up with the equal rights. It's not that you are a boy, you're meant to do this, you are a girl, you're meant to do this. How about you?
We were actually two sisters, and growing up, I think our parents were absolutely equal. I mean, we never realized there's a difference between a girl and a boy, child, and all of that. But I can tell you, I'm the second daughter of two girls, and when I was born, a close relative of ours said to my dad that तुम्हारा तो सिर्फ झुका ही रहेगा, दो बेटियां हैं.
Oh.
Right? And there was another relative of ours who was after my parents' life to have a third child, saying that अगर बेटी हुई तो मैं ले लूँगा, लेकिन try करो, एक लड़का होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. So, but my dad said that, hey, listen, one, it's a very personal matter. Second is, me and my wife wanted two healthy children.
Yeah.
And we have two healthy children.
That's important.
Right? And that's how we've been born, brought up, complete ownership of our own selves.
Yeah.
And I don't think we lack anything.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah. A lot of people still think. I think I've seen a lot of people in today's era also, they want a boy. I know a lot of people who have two girls, but they will always try for a third child who's going to be a boy. I don't know why they differentiate between a boy and a girl.
I am not too sure how much do they differentiate between a girl and a boy, but I think there's a huge societal pressure.
But there's very important thing to have a boy in the family.
Yeah, and I think that has to do with a cultural shift, a shift in mindset. Often the older women in the family also, and that's why I kind of say that sometimes women are the gatekeepers of patriarchy, because they are the ones who would want and nudge their daughter-in-laws ki pota chahiye.
Yeah,
right?
yes.
That typical thing. So I think it's a whole system of patriarchy that we've all been born, brought up, and the society has been formed on those lines. But times have changed. Where are girls not there today?
They are everywhere.
From deep down to the sea, to the sky, the moon, right? To different planets. We're all there.
They broke all the stereotypes and they have almost reached to the level where men were, men are, and men are going to be. The competitive in every...
I have a little bias there. We've always been ahead.
Oh.
Right? We've always been, because if you see, and scientifically it's proven that a woman's brain can multitask 10 different things, whereas a man's focus can be only 2, maximum 3 tasks at a time. So, you know, while I'm at office, I'm thinking about my child's studies in the night, I'm thinking about the phone call comes, Didi khane mein kya hai?
Multitasking.
So it's just a whole entire spectrum of things that goes on. And actually, so we've all seen those WhatsApp images of, you know, the Durga Ma with,
Yes,
or a
with
woman
many
with
hands.
many hands,
Yes.
right? Luckily now you see the woman with some dumbbells for her fitness
Yes.
and some computers for her job and all of that. But I think that's reality.
Yes.
We just, those are all invisible, right? So that's the thing. So I think we've always been equal. We've always been above. We are the ones who've not valued ourselves enough.
Yes, very true. Dipika, if we only talk about Indian women, I think out of 100%, only 70% of the women believe in gender equality. Rather, I would say support gender equality. It's okay if they're going out working, but उनके लिए क्या होता है, घर वापस आना और सीधा किचन में लगना, बच्चे को देखना, घर का सारा काम करना. अभी भी एक थोड़ा सा हिच है ये देखने में. ओके फाइन, वी हैव कम बैक फ्रॉम ऑफिस, हम आराम से बैठे, वी नीड टाइम, लेट द हस्बैंड टेक इट फॉरवर्ड, टेक अप द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज, टेक द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ किचन, चाइल्ड, हाउस होल्ड वर्क. वो अभी भी, डू यू रियली थिंक दैट गैप इज स्टिल देयर एंड वुमेन आर नॉट एक्सेप्टिंग इट?
See, that gap, it all comes down to, again, the mindset and the culture that you create in a household, right? I remember once, very long ago, I think about 7 years ago or something, I was giving a session and I was preparing for it. And in my preparation, I was saying, okay, as an introduction to International Women's Day, I'm going to say that I'm a mother, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter-in-law, I'm a wife. I have so many roles to play. And my husband just pats me from the back and says, hello, I'm a husband, I'm a brother, I'm a son-in-law, right? I also have those roles, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is that let's not define things as per somebody else's convenience.
Dipika, what I feel, even a partner, if he's okay with the wife working, in-laws in the house, they're okay with the daughter-in-law working, traveling for many days. But somewhere down the line, if there is an occasion or a celebration or a birthday of, let's say, a birthday of a child, if a father is not there, it's okay. But if mother is not there, they'll make an issue out of it.
Yeah.
The society, that's what society think, that okay, fine, काम कर रही है, करने दो, मगर बच्चे के birthday में तो होना ज़रूरी था.
Yeah.
How do you want to change that thinking?
So पहले तो मेरी कहानी तो बिल्कुल ही उल्टी है, because my husband has attended more PTMs than what I have, right? बच्चों के annual functions में there were times where he would show up and I couldn't. Their teachers know him more than what they know me. So हमारी कहानी उल्टी है. But when you're saying कि society, yes, you're right कि society expect करती है कि mother को होना, right? In fact, so much so, Indira Nooyi also quoted once that she came back very late and she had just become the director of PepsiCo, and वो घर आई and you know, she's excited about telling her mother that you know, I've become the director of PepsiCo and all of that, and she said कि दूध नहीं लेकर आए. She said, माँ मैं late आई हूँ, and you know, a woman director of PepsiCo is a massive thing, and all. She said, fine, that's the professionalism that stays out.
Yeah.
घर में your husband needs chai tomorrow and घर में दूध नहीं है तो दूध लेकर आओ.
Yes.
So I think somewhere, as I said, women are also gatekeepers of patriarchy.
Do you think women are becoming more self-independent now, and it is raising higher percentage of divorce?
Well, that's what the statistics say, that you know, somewhere divorce rates are increasing. And again, I think it falls back to the same thing of not one having the right kind of support system or the right kind of respect and understanding. Because while Purane Zamane mein, because they were totally dependent on their families or husband or whatever for their being, today that's not the case.
I think that is not accepted even if a woman is doing that.
Yeah. So there are several reasons, but I think women are stepping out and saying that, okay, we will not tolerate injustice
Yes,
anymore.
yes.
And their financial freedom has a lot to do with that as well. So how good is it, how bad is it? One should not be sitting here and judging that, because I think each to their own. I'm sure they would have had a journey to take that step. Nobody likes to take that step. But at the same time, it is important to be not just on the bandwagon of just not being flexible even little.
Okay.
Right? So somewhere it's a nice fine balance of tolerance, respect, sometimes give and take, that all right, it's okay, but at the same time not to tolerate injustice. So yeah, I think that's why the statistic.
You have balanced your life in every phases, yet you have come to a stage where you must have dreamt of, I want to be this when I grow up. Somewhere down the line, I feel not 100%, but somewhere 90% you have achieved what you always wanted to achieve. Keeping in mind your perspective of being a mother, a daughter-in-law, a wife, and many other roles. So how tough was it for you?
See, I walk on thin ice every single day. So if you're saying that I'm able to balance it well, I take it as a compliment. But every day is a challenge. Every day you've got to make choices. Every day you will need your support system. And the one reason for this, achieving this stage of balance, is that I somewhere had to let go of perfectionism. Where I see a lot of women going wrong is that they want to be, okay, बच्चे पलने चाहिए तो perfect होने चाहिए, खाना बनना चाहिए तो perfect होना चाहिए, काम करना चाहिए तो perfect होना, इंसान तो एक है ना,
Yeah.
right? So I have learned to respect my imperfection and unapologetically, kind of say, all right, things can go wrong. They will not be as efficient as what I would if I take it in my hands and do it, right? But still, if I land up doing everything, who's killing whom? I'm killing myself.
Yeah.
So this whole thing of balance comes from taking it a little easy, delegating tasks with a very realistic expectation कि 100% perfect नहीं होगा.
Yeah.
Flaws होंगे.
Would you like to share any of your experience throughout your journey, which you would like to share with our audience, from an imperfect woman to a perfect woman you're becoming today?
The perfect woman that I'm becoming today is the woman who is so open to imperfections, right? Because I've been very harsh on myself, trying to be 100% everywhere, right? And we've moved countries. I've been with zero support system. I've been in temperatures where हम लोग हंसते थे, जब flight में हम लोग ऊपर pilot announce करता था, we are 30,000 feet above the ground, the temperature is minus 38, 35 degrees. हमने कहा हम मॉस्को में तो on ground minus 35 दिखते हैं, right? So I've been through challenging times, and I think the only way, looking back, that I can share is that please prioritize yourself as well.
There are a lot of women who are career oriented, but because of their responsibilities, they are not able to achieve what they actually can achieve in their life.
When you say this, it's almost like somebody narrating my story back to me. When we returned back to India, I had applied for Tata SKIP, which is Second Career Internship Program. Out of, I think, about 22,000 applicants, only 12 were given projects with Tatas, and I happened to be one of those 12. When they gave me the letter, I was given the project with Tata Motors. We were in Bombay at that time. So it meant I have to travel to Tata Motors, even if it was twice a week or something. But I was not ready for that travel because my husband had a well-traveling job. I couldn't leave my children behind. So I gave back that letter. 3 months later, I get a call from Tata House, and they say that we have something for you. Would you like to come and discuss? So I said, great. And when I went there, I remember I've gone to this Tata House, and we're in the boardroom talking about everything. It's a fancy title with a fancy package. And because I had enrolled from Tata SKIP, I thought flexibility वगैरह होगी, तो मैं बस appointment letter and a fancy salary slip का discussion लेकर सब चल रही हूँ, I'm at the door, and then I say, okay, so when are the days that you'd want me to come to office? They said, no, Dipika, this is a full-time role.
Okay.
It will mean a proper 9 to 5, and you know what 9 to 5 in India is. There will be scope for extension and all of that. I gave that letter, that salary slip, everything back to them, and I said, I'm sorry, I can't take up this job because I have little children and I don't have a support system right now to take care of that. And one thing is, have clarity. Now, this question took me back to that phase. That drive back from Fort to Warsaw, where we were staying, 1.5 hours, I haven't cried that much ever in my life.
Oh my God.
Because I was an ambitious person. I wanted to make a professional career. I've had clarity and all of that. First is, within a week of marriage, we moved out of India. We moved to a place like South Africa. वहाँ पे work visas जब तक हुए तब तक baby bump था. फिर वहाँ से reject हो गए. Then the baby came, responsibilities came. Then by the time we were settling there, we moved to Moscow, which is like poles apart, right? The second child happened there. So फिर वापस इंडिया आ गए ताकि और बच्चे ना हो. Right? But I've been through these stages of rejection, feeling dejected, and I am from one of the top institutions of India where I've done my MBA in HR. I can get what you're saying when you say this, but I think somewhere I have learned, and I would encourage women to learn also, is to trust the process.
Yes.
Today, if I can mold corporate diva the way I have molded it to be, is purely because I went through that process, every stage of it myself. I understand what women go through, and therefore today I can mentor and coach them.
बहुत से women हैं जो they just give time frame to their profession. Okay, we are early 25, we are early 30s. No, it's time for us to work, grow into profession. शादी देखा जाएगा. But I believe it has to be the other way. Get married, have kids, profession साथ में चलाओ. But
customize your plan according to your needs.
Customize your plan, yeah.
Right? जब हम इंडिया के बाहर निकले, just a week, मैंने कहा अभी थोड़ा हाथ पैर मारा, work visas वगैरह का पंगा पड़ा. I told my husband, I am giving you 8 years. जितना रगड़ा कर सकते हो अपने करियर को डेवलप करने में करो. 8 साल में I will take care of the home front. We'll have a family, we'll plan our kids and everything. 8 साल बाद when I will step out, I will need your support.
Yes, yeah.
Right? And that's how it's
That's
been.
how it's happening, yeah.
Right?
So would you like to tell our women about health of women? How important it is?
Health of Women Forum, actually, we had moved to Bombay and I was settling in again with my projects and all of that. And then one fine day my husband says, we've got to now pack our bags and move to Bangalore. And then I remember सारे आपके suitcases और boxes वगैरह सब पड़े हुए थे आस पास to unpack when we moved into that place. And he walks away with his trolley because उसका travel आ गया. बच्चे चले गए school, मैं यहाँ बैठी हूँ. But when he was walking out, I said that again I'm at ground zero. I वापस से वही चीज़ शुरू, right? So he said, you know what, look within, you'll find something. But that day I actually sat down, and what I didn't realize then, which struck me, was that when my second child was born, I was 94 kgs. And I had worked on myself, gone through this entire journey, and organically lost about 32 kgs.
Wow.
Besides having thyroid, PCOD, and of course a lot has reoccurred as well, but I'm totally okay in my space today. But that's where I realized that when you're talking well-being, फिटनेस के लिए बहुत है, ये करो, ये डाइट करो, ये जिम करो, ये वो करो. मेंटल हेल्थ एंड अ वुमन्स वेल-बीइंग के ऊपर कुछ नहीं था. So I wanted to focus on a woman's well-being, which is why you saw that my yoga sessions were different than a yoga class.
You were the first one who introduced me to yoga.
Yeah. So and then फिर मैंने सारा अपना बैठ के blog लिखा, अच्छे से WordPress सीखा and all of that. And then I remember it was 30th November, right? And सब कुछ लिखकर तैयार कर दिया. And I said अब मैं publish button ना 8th March को next year press करूँगी, International Women's Day. My husband came from behind and said कब publish करना है? मैंने कहा 8th March. He said ले हो गया publish.
Okay. What 5 things you would like to advise the men of a society to support the women empowerment?
First is Indian women are already empowered. We don't need empowerment. What we need is number 1, equal respect. Please respect us as you would respect your fellow brother, male colleague, or whatever. Second is dignity of labor. And that's something that culturally we've lacked in our society. That घर का काम is not dignity of labor. बाहर का ऑफिस में मीटिंग्स करके आओगे, पूरे दिन ऐश करके आओगे, फिर भी दफ्तर से आए थक गए. So dignity of labor. Third is be a little sensitive. There are certain problems that are unique to women. We have our monthly cycles. Some of us can go through it very easily. Some of us have some troubles, our hormonal imbalances. Be sensitive towards that. And not only just to the woman in your life who's your partner or whatever. Be sensitive to your sister, your mother, your aunt, your entire ecosystem of women around you.
Now, Dipika, we are going to have a rapid fire round and we want quick and funny answers from you. What's your favorite feminist anthem?
Just empowered women empower women. That's
Empower woman, empower woman. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're empowered enough and you believe a lot in yourself, you don't need external validation, you will go ahead and teach other women not to seek external validation. So empowered women empower women.
This time I was just making one reel for Women's Day. So कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा था, तो just one thing came into my mind. This Women's Day, gift yourself a crown of respect.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a very big
starts
thing.
with self.
When you respect yourself, people will definitely start respecting you. What's a weird feminist joke you have ever heard?
Though it's a joke and often jokes are like humorous in nature, this particular joke stayed on with me in a not so good way. So the joke was, and I heard it in one of the office spaces that I was visiting, on a smoke break, two guys are talking and they say that, there is this joke that is going on, bata kya? So the joke is that there is one guy who's in a very harmonious relationship with his wife and all of that. तो दूसरा पूछता है कि भाई सबकी जिंदगी में तो इतना उथल पुथल चल रहा है, तुम कैसे इतने खुश हो? इधर देख, हमारे घर में छोटे छोटे डिसीजंस जैसे खाने में क्या बनना है, उसकी शादी फिक्स हो गई, उसको गिफ्ट क्या देना है, मेहमान आ रहे हैं उनको क्या सर्व करना है, ये छोटे छोटे डिसीजंस मेरी वाइफ लेती है. कंपनी में क्या हो रहा है, देश में क्या हो रहा है, वो सारे बड़े डिसीजंस वो मैं लेता हूँ. एंड बस मैं उसके छोटे डिसीजंस में नहीं इंटरफेयर करता, वो मेरे बड़े डिसीजंस में नहीं इंटरफेयर करती, हम लोग खुशी से रहते हैं.
How do you react when people don't agree to your ideas just because of your gender?
Well, I would get very perturbed earlier, but then I moved on to a zone whether it is my way or the highway. Today, I just say that ठीक है, अज्ञानी इंसान है, नहीं समझ आ रहा है, छोड़ो साइड में, just carry on with what you have to do.
What's your favorite thing about being a woman?
I think the gift of life. That I think that's something still very unique to women, that we have the power and the system needed to give a gift of life and pay it forward. So that's my favorite part.
Yes. Truly. What's the most empowering thing you have done for yourself as a woman?
That wake up call, that one decision to put myself on my list of priorities. That has been a turning point in my life, and I have just climbed up from there. So that has been the most empowering thing I've done for myself.
If you could give one piece of advice to the young girls, what would that be? Please believe in yourself. There aren't no standards of beauty, of intellect, of XYZ. You set the standards, because what you are 100% a unique individual with unique qualities, with unique facets of life. What's the best way to support other girls and women in your community?
Show up. Just show up. Don't show off. Show up. If your friend says that I am an entrepreneur and I've started baking and all of that, the immediate thing that I have seen is, "Arey, ab to baking kari, khila humko." What the way I do it is, I had a friend of mine recently who reached out to me and said that, hey, I've started making vegan leather sandals and do spread the word or whatever. And I wanted to send her a congratulatory bouquet. And I said, no, I will go to her website and buy her product as my way of support. nothing means better than somebody saying, putting faith in you and saying, I am your customer, I want to buy from you.
That's what they need.
I don't want freebies.
What's the most funniest gender stereotype you have ever heard?
Girls can't drive.
No, what I have heard, I tell you. अच्छा ये कार कौन चला रहा है, अच्छी नहीं चला रहा है, पक्का गर्ल चला रही होगी.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. कार ठुकी तो आई एम फ्रॉम दिल्ली, सो अरे कार ठोक दी, लड़की होगी.
लड़की होगी.
Right? So but that's the stupidest thing, because I can not only drive well, I've been a part of car rallies, and I have taken initiatives in drives and all of that. So I don't agree on that. Yeah, navigation में थोड़ा सा problem हो सकता है, geography कमजोर हो सकती है, but ability बिल्कुल कमजोर नहीं.
If you could choose any female superhero as a role model, who would it be?
I would just look myself in the mirror. I'll be honest. And I'm not saying it from a sense of pride. I'm saying it because role model is someone whom you have seen going through a journey, whom you admire, whom you get inspired from, whom you have an aspiration to be in.
What role does media play in showing a gender stereotype?
Massive. Massive. And therefore you guys taking these videos, please be very, very careful and sensitive about the context of the topic or communication.
How can we challenge traditional gender roles and expectations?
Just chill. You don't need to challenge.
You can't change the generation. You have to.
You will get nothing out of gender wars. Nothing. If you have to challenge it in one way or the other, the more you are at peace with yourself, the more you are confident about yourself, the more you believe in yourself. It's like if you put your value as 5 रुपए का सिक्का, सड़क का भिखारी भी आज मना कर देता है. If you put your value as 1 करोड़ का check, which means जिसके हाथ लगे उसकी lottery, right? That value is, nobody else defines, you define it. So don't challenge anybody else. Just know what you bring to the table and be confident about it.
Wow, so there we come up with a rapid fire round with Dipika Trehan, who has been so supportive and giving all her answers, and I'm sure you have really inspired many women audience today.
Thank you so much, Megha. I am really hoping that from my very authentic life journey, if even one woman gets inspired and starts taking a step for herself, I think I would have.
It will bring a change. Yeah. Okay, so for this, there's a small pampering kit from Blushberry for you, Dipika.
Thank you so much.
Lovely to have you on my show. It was such a lively talk with you, and she's one of the most humble women I've ever come across.
Thank you so much for this. I wish I'm okay. I'm open for another hour if I'm getting another one of this.
I think this topic is endless, and we can talk endless hours on this.
Yeah, it's something very close to my heart. But thanks. I'm going to really use it for pampering myself.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks.
For more successful stories, please keep watching Couch of Fame by Megha Arora. If you are inspired by this episode, please don't forget to share with your friends and family.